Hello, this is Janny B, JannyBFree.com. Having a good day today. We're taking out the dogs. Come on, come along. Let's go. So I'm in a bit of a better mood today. I was in a little bit of a funk the last couple days. So today I actually want to talk about overwhelm because it is something I've dealt with a lot. And people who have been spending years in emotional hell usually fall behind with their shit because they're, especially if you are borderline personality, if you have ADD, you got that going on as well, and many times it's comorbid. And if you got all that, chances are you have handed over your whole entire life and have just spent years ignoring your own stuff, and then at some point you don't even have it in you anymore to do anything that you ever wished you had wanted to or planned to. So I have been there, and I've spent, I'm going to say, at least the last year and a half, 2 years digging out. I started a little before that, but I wasn't by any means, it wasn't consistent whatsoever. I was still going in and out of the relationship. I was drinking to self-medicate, which doesn't help anything whatsoever. And it's just a lot of wasted time and a lot of wasted money. The way I look at it now. And so I've spent a lot of time digging out. I was lucky enough to be able to cut back work for a while. My daughter was living with me and helping, and that helped a whole lot. And the one point is, if you can get help from your family or friends or whoever, don't feel bad about it. At first I was feeling not very good because I wasn't used to having that role. When I was originally married with the kids when they were little, and even older, I certainly wasn't taking anything from them. But they're adults now, and I did need them. You'll see, they saved my ass. And I'll be forever grateful at these children of mine, for these children of mine. And so if you can get any help at all, in any way, shape, or form, take it. And don't feel bad about it. And that's the way you know who loves you and who you can count on as well. And you never know. Maybe you've already done lots for them, or maybe you will someday. And the other thing is, don't get overwhelmed. Just take one day at a time and keep going. That's how I roll. That's how I roll. I find that I do get still very stressed. I ended up having acute anxiety, having heart palpitations, full-on anxiety attacks where it just feels like somebody's hammering you in the gut. While I was in the relationship, that was a like all the time thing. And then I ended up getting the kind that just like come upon you for no reason whatsoever. But of course there is a reason. It's because everything has gone to hell in your life and you're scared shitless that you're never going to be able to recover, or what the hell else is going to be coming along. And it really does cause you some anxiety. But one thing that will give you a lot of control, if your environment, I was going to say if your environment's out of control, but there's a good chance it is. And your environment is something you can control. I'll be talking a lot about Daily Stoic. It's a book, and I try to do a lesson every day if I can. I don't always, because I can't always, because I'm too busy doing things and getting things done. And that's great. I get up really early, and at some point I was on medication for a while, and I just found it really made me numb, and I didn't want to live that way. What is the point? And it made me gain weight. It gave me all kinds of things I didn't like. So I just decided that I don't want to live that way. And what I did find really helped me a lot was cleaning and decluttering. it got to the point in my house, especially because with all these guys, it went from I'd always been a not neat person, let's say, because I was always too busy doing a million things. And I used to actually have a little saying, and it was, I'm too busy living to do housework. And that turned around to bite me in the ass, because by the time, with everything going on, and the dogs and the cats and the ducks, it's another whole story, chickens, I just totally lost control of everything, and I couldn't even really function. I couldn't get out the door to go to work at any great time in the morning. I lost work. Like, I had to turn it down. I never actually, really messed up. My job, I was lucky enough I could tell them when I was coming in, but I could never come in at a decent time, so I just wasn't working as much as I should. So I just literally couldn't get out the door until 11. And I just said, this isn't working. And then I'd be like so stressed about leaving, because I still had so much to do. And I'd be, oh my God, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Some of it was life-threatening for the animals, like the ducks. I was getting bombarded with raccoons and foxes, and I had to fix the coop, and there was just, you'd fix one thing and then another one, I'd have another rescue. And if you know about pecking orders and stuff, it can mess everything up, and it did regularly. So I'd have to do something else, and it was a nightmare. I wasn't getting sleep because I was so worried, and it was a mess, literally a mess. So I just said, I can't do this anymore. I can't live this way anymore. I have a beautiful home. And of course, I was feeling like it was nothing through all these relationships, and this is, I will take ownership. I haven't been diagnosed, but I think I do have BPD, and part of it is that you just hand over your whole life to other people, and I've done it my whole life. And you lose your identity. They say that you pretend to be interested in the same things as them. It's not so much that. It is more a handing over of control, and which is why you're so desperate for it. You have lost all control. And who in a million years would think that was even possible? I certainly wouldn't. I'm trying very hard to keep these guys from getting tangled up. Go low here for a minute. I never in a million years ever would have thought this kind of thing would happen to me. Ever. I've always been a very self-sufficient person. Isn't this beautiful? With this, like I got this when I was 20 something. It wasn't always this nice. I was early 20s. I actually lived with no hydro, no running water, no toilet, no nothing. Literally no nothing, in a mobile home on this property when I was 22, alone. I did have a boyfriend, and he did help me out, I will say, but it wasn't for very long, because I'm going to say probably my BPD. But I didn't even know anything of such a thing. There wasn't even internet then. And yeah, I'm kind of dating myself. So anyway, long history. But you just give them control, and it's the one thing you need to get rid of this stress. You have to get some control. So by decluttering and cleaning, if your house is a mess, I did it 15 minutes at a time. If I was feeling anxious, I'd say, okay, I'm feeling anxious here. What can I clean? Usually I'd have a project that was ongoing. I'd have picked one. I'll show you guys my system that I use. It's very easy. Just a notebook and a pen. I used to have a very complicated system in the Queen of Chaos original days that I wish I'd never given up. Like 13 years ago. Still have the system, and it works, and it's really good. But for me and my little pea brain I have now, not saying anybody else has pea brain, but I certainly do. And it's not even that. I have just learned, the more you simplify literally everything, the better off you are. And so it's just a very simple system. All right, guys, come on. We're going on the trail. Going on the trail, girls. And anyway, so I will have usually picked a focus that I want to work on. So when I'm feeling anxious, I will do my 15 minutes still. And it works miracles. It really does. It feels so good to even do the 15. And lots of times you'll keep going. Or then next time you'll pick it up again. And you'll have so much done. And I find it's kind of funny because sometimes when I finish, I'm just tired and I can't think of anything else. I have a short attention span. And then when I go in, it's very obvious the first things I can start picking off in 15 minutes. It's a big advantage of doing it in short spurts. And every time you see a difference. And I'm very lucky with my kids, especially my girls. They've been behind me all the way because my daughter was living with me beside her nuts. And she helped me a lot. And I would work really hard. She would stay at my son's through the week and look after his house. And I'd work very hard through the weekend, or through the week, so to show off to her on the weekend. And she was so supportive, and I will say I turned a corner because she was hard to impress. And I had been doing this kind of thing for years, so she didn't really believe, I don't think, that I was serious, that I was really going to get anywhere. And so it went on, and I'd show her stuff. She'd be like, she's one of those people that compliments a hard one. And then finally, one day, she kind of just said, oh, that's good. That's really, really nice, blah, blah, blah. And I felt so good. And she just started supporting me after that because it did keep getting better and better. And now it's gotten so much better that I probably could even bring this video inside my house because I wouldn't do it before. And I do have a ways to go, and now especially decorating and painting and starting. But it's functional, and I'm doing this thing. Abe Built, I think it's the channel. He's really good, and he tells you the power rule. And I had stumbled on this when I first started walking these guys this way. I told you all about how I used to take them individually, and this like revolutionized our life. Saved me at least a half an hour a day. And we all get to go for a nice long walk, and this nice, relaxing, beautiful walk. And so I was looking at things, and I do look at things that way now. I'm always wondering, what can I do more efficiently? And some of these things will literally change your entire life. Oh, you okay, Zelda? Yeah, usually we go across better than this. Okay. All right, so this way. So anyway, Overwhelm. Take it a little bite at a time. Take it one day at a time, and keep going. I have kind of a weird story. When people pass away, any animals, people, anything, many times I'll get some kind of a message. My dad passed away last year, a year and a half ago now. And one of his messages to me was, keep going. And you'd have to know more about our relationship. But for me to hear something like that from him, to me, meant a lot, enough that I would remember it. And that is exactly what I need to do. One of the things with him is we didn't talk much. He caused me a lot of issues, but he was very smart. And lots of times when he'd say things to me, they'd be short but sweet and very, very smart and right on key. And that's exactly what this was. And it's true, just keep going. And that's what I've done. And I've gotten pretty far. So my new game is going to be, it's still overwhelming. There's still unending to do. There's always something to do and more to do, or more challenges. When you just get somewhere on something, then something else comes up. And it's just that way. And so I thought I should write down all the things I need to do. And there's probably 100. And then I can strike them off every time I get something done, or check them off. And then I will, a little bit like a bucket list, only for cleaning and getting a house in order. And I've probably already done 100 things, I figured. So I'm going to sit down and think of all the things that I've done. And I did keep some track. I used to sum it up every week. And some days now I could get a week's worth in a day. It's just crazy. And so I'm going to do that. I just think it would be really fun. So I'm gonna, again, go through this and I'll make a PDF. When I make these things, it's totally off the cuff and I'm being distracted by the dogs. I'm having to keep them in order and not getting tangled up, and my pants are falling down and stuff. So I miss stuff sometimes. What I can't wait to do is start sitting down at my desk and making my videos. I want to do some drawing ones. That's how I think. And I've got lots of notebooks that are drawings, and that's just how, especially when I'm traumatized, that's the way I do it. And I know that I'll be able to illustrate stuff and make an outline and be a little more organized. But that's it for now. We're getting back. And I will talk more about this for sure. About Overwhelm. It's a big thing. A very big thing for us. And getting rid of a little bit of it and the control in that for our life makes all the difference. So I will talk to you later. Have a great day. I love you very, very much. And it will be okay. It'll be okay. You're going to do it. It's up to you. And that's the good news. I used to think that was a devastating thing to hear. But I think it's the best news ever now. Because really, I'm the one that I want to be able to depend on. So I'll talk to you later. Have a great day. It is Jannie B from JannieBFree.com.